Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Platinum. Happy birthday to me. Hey, I'm 48 and I am tired, but I wanted to do a video on my birthday. The weekend. Lots of people, well wishes, appreciate you. Lots of people came over to the party yesterday, which wasn't really about my birthday, but it kind of was. And I got a couple of presents that were absolutely amazing. Then I had a birthday dinner with the kids tonight, and now I'm about to hit the hay because I am tired. And tomorrow the working out starts and keeps on going, never stops. And but I wanted to do a video because it's not really wrestling related, to warn you. It is about next weekend, next Sunday at 1 p.m. I start my 24 hours. I call it game on and on and on and on. I've been doing it year after year after year after year. And this year, I am determined to hit all the goals. And a couple of people have had questions, which is really great because this really gives me a chance to clarify exactly what the hell I'm doing and why. I'll try not to make this too long, and I'll have like pretty pictures inserted since one of my goals is to continue to sort of improve the quality of the videos. Don't worry, soon the webcam will be a rare occurrence in favor of actually having a rig and a setup and all of that. It's wonderful. So, okay. So this started a few years ago. I play this game called Marvel Contest of Champions. Here's my phone. I have it on my phone, played it on my phone for years, and now I have a tablet and I play it on that as well. But I love the game. It's the only game I play, which for people that knew me from before, when I was big time playing a ton of different video games, now my kids who don't play that many video games play more than I do. Yay, Marvel Contest of Champions. Um, I just play this one, and it's cathartic, and I'm obsessed by it, and I played it super consistently. I play every single day. I love it. I'm watching Ma, by the way. Fucking movie rules. Uh, but I just got it in my head a few years ago that I wanted to do charity work, and then it came up when I was working for the magazine, so it shows how long ago this was. I was working for a magazine and covering events, and I went to this Orlando Science Center, and then there was a booth for a group called Extra Life. And a few people who have asked me if they wanted to sort of participate with me, which I really appreciate. And I always direct people to Extra Life. Extra Life works with at least in Florida, works with the Children's Miracle Network, who's hooked in with different children's hospitals. So before deciding exactly that I wanted to work with them, I got a tour of the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital, and his wife, Winnie Cooper, has an affiliated wing of the Children's Hospital. And I was really taken with it and how they take in all of these kids and handle more premature babies, and they just do it's work that is really noble and really grand. And I mean, who couldn't get behind it? I'm sure some asshole couldn't, but I certainly could. And the money needs are great. And they don't turn people away because they don't have insurance and that kind of thing, which was very appealing to me also. So I decided, yes, Extra Life is what I wanted to do. And they go like, what we're asking, this was years ago, but they're like, what we ask is that at some point, you play 24 hours total in the course of a year and then collect donations. And I'm like, well, let me knock it out all at once. And I go like, what's the time of year where, they go like, we have this thing in April where fundraising tends to take place. We have this like 3-day event that we do. And then we have a big thing in November. And so they go like, a lot of donations come in during that time, but not the beginning of the year. So I'm like, well, let me come up with something in the beginning of the year. And So the cartoonist who worked at the Winter Garden magazine did that picture of me. That's the thumbnail, right? Maybe if I remember, I'll put it here too. Um, Obviously, that's back when I had a beard, and it's really great. I love that picture. And then I just jumped into it willy nilly. I'm like, I'm gonna play for 24 hours. President's Day seemed like it made sense, so I started at 1 in the afternoon on Sunday. Played the Crystal Splash Arena for 24 hours. That's what I decided I would do. And I just thought, certainly no other maniac does this, even though millions of people, tens of millions of people have downloaded this game at one time or another, and usually millions of people play this particular arena. I'm like, I still thought I can just jump headlong in and do it. Um, Here's what the arena, by the way, looks like. Right there it is. You notice there's a clock there. It counts down the 24 hours that that arena is open. And basically, what you do is you have three fights. You pick three of your heroes, and you have to win two out of the three fights. You collect points for every fight you win, and then you move on and on and on and on and on. And then once you win 5 or 6 series of fights, you think I would know for sure? I've done it 10 trillion times. You get triple the points. And then you just keep that streak going, and you always want triple the points. And you just pile on the points, pile on the points, pile on the points. And the first year I did it, I got fourth place. And the next year I did it, and then I got about a little over almost 4 million points. And then the next year I got fourth place, and then I got fourth place, and I got fourth place. And I could never break through. And it's usually because I would lose 2 out of 3 at some point, and my streak would break, and that would happen a few times. And so my goal every year was to knock it down one more time because it made a big difference in points. And my goal was to try to raise, at first it was to get 100, which I did. And that's great. So I'm like, I should have set my goal higher. So then I set my goal for 1,000. And then the next year I got to 300 and 400. Last year I got 600. Um, and I used to do all kinds of stuff to try to help with the fundraising beforehand. I had this thing called Cursed Cookie where I would always make a cookie a cookie of the logo of the team in the Super Bowl that would always lose. But then last year that streak broke, and I realized like, well, I can't really do that anymore. Um, and then I was like, you know what? This year I'm just going to focus on the event. So last night I had a party, and my kid, smart as a whip, sort of set up my laptop open on the table in the middle of my party with the sign basically saying, if you want to donate to Dad's thing. So look at this. This was really cool. So some people who came to my party, this happened to you. And they donated. So I'm already between that and Matt Griffin donated money, and then I had an anonymous donor who started me off with $1, which I really appreciate. I'm at over $100, and I'm not even haven't even started the event yet. So that's already more than I've gotten in the past before I've even begun. So it's very encouraging, right? And then I contacted the people who are in charge of the game. There is this company called Kabam. They're a very big company, and they always chip in something, right? They always put in something in game terms, and it doesn't help me with the arena. But there's something about the fact that this year, well, here's the letter I got. So take a look. Um, Really cool. Basically, the letter said, you continue to do this year after year, and we think it's absolutely great. Here's what we always give you, so we're going to give that to you again. So that's great that I'm on file with them, and they give me what they always give me. It honestly doesn't help me with the arena itself. This year, um, because I'm okay. So like I said, I always get like around 4 million points, and I always get fourth place. So I thought last year, let me get to 5 million, and that will take me way over the top, right? I'm at fourth in the world. If I get a million more points, 25% more points, certainly I'll be number one for fucking sure, right? Well, last year, look at what position I got. Um, yeah, third. It's like, fuck. Now I did my point streak was broken 3 times, which was the lowest it had ever been done. And I'd gotten 5 million because I'd sort of get more proficient and were able to throw together the groups quicker. Sometimes if you put certain heroes together as a team, you have what they call synergy, so it raises the amount of points that you get and makes it easier to win. But I was really disappointed, right? A million more points and I only got one spot. It just seemed insane. And I took a screenshot of where I was in the third place because I wanted to see who number one and number two were so I could ask them. Like, how, how many points did you guys get? Just so I can have a rough estimate of what to shoot for. So here's the shot of the top three. And there's something I want you to notice. In brackets is what alliance that they are with. Okay, so take a look. Yeah, it didn't occur to me at the time, though I did think it was noteworthy that one and two were in the same alliance, which is incredibly bizarre. Maybe they competed and pushed each other, but it just doesn't seem likely. Two people from the same alliance who playing for 24 hours straight, who managed to get more points than I did when I thought I was so close to being in the number one position, and it increased my point total 25 fucking percent, and I just couldn't get it. And I just was like, this is unbelievable. But then it had come out from that point to this year that there were people who were entering the arena that were using bots. And usually it was all the same alliance. It would be these accounts that were started. So I looked into those accounts, and sure enough, they don't have the kind of hero roster that should be able to do this. They're not powerhouses by any stretch. They're using bots, meaning it's just playing for them automatically, and they have it rigged where their heroes are unnaturally powerful, not through acquisition or through normal gameplay, but they're cheating basically. And so their heroes just basically go up. What the fight would look like is the fight would go up instead of having to fight it out. They would just hit once and kill the guy. So they're winning their fights super quickly and acquiring points much faster that way. And they're playing for 24 hours straight without getting tired, without making a mistake, because it's a bot playing. And that alliance in question, core with the O, um, just has a bunch of bot players. That should be frustrating, right? Well, fuck, then there's no way I can win. Bullshit. I have spent the entire year. There's this one kind of crystal called the arena crystal that multiplies your points that you get for a fight. And I haven't used any of them for an entire year. I've acquired about 2,000 of them, which is more than enough to have every single fight that I do for that 24-hour period have a multiplier on my points, on top of the multiplier I always already get for having that win streak. So my goal this year, $1,000 in donations. And of course, I have a link below. You can go to stephenplatinum.com and there's the button there. Please donate. Just know that the money, I never touch that money. It goes through Extra Life right to Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital, a nobler cause. There are none. And that's the wonderful part of the goal. And then there's often people who match and that kind of thing. But I wanted $1,000 in individual donations for the first time. Highest I've ever done, 600. This year I want 1,000. I'm already over 100, so that's really encouraging. Goal number 2. I want number 1 in the world just to see if I can do it. This arena, I suspect at some point on Sundays they're going to change this arena. It's the only one that remains constant. I just have a feeling they're going to change it. This may be my last year to attempt to do it. It's part of the reason that I'm so gung-ho about getting to number 1 in it. And part of the reason I want to do that is because my kids know the deal, right? My kids know that that's what I've tried to do, and I haven't succeeded yet. And I don't want to give up. I don't want to make excuses. I just want to see, I want them to see me accomplish that goal. And I want them to see me accomplish raising $1,000 for through Extra Life for the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital. And I want to see if I can pull this fucking thing off. And I want to hashtag beat the bots. I'm pissed that there's people who cheat at this shit. And I want to beat them anyway. So I'm gunning for 6 million points. I'm gunning for my win streak to never be broken, or at most be broken once. And I think those two things go hand in hand. And I want to place number 1 in the world, and I want 1,000. You can help me for sure. And the best way to help me, I will continually update. Usually every hour, I post how I'm doing. You know, last year I did this chalkboard thing. I may do it again. I may not, because it was a hassle to kind of have to stop and get the picture and then upload the picture and all that kind of shit. I don't really want to live stream it. I don't really want to work about it because sometimes I do crazy stuff to keep myself not just awake but motivated. Keep in mind, I'm getting older and older. I'm 48, right? So sometimes I take long walks and can play on my phone. Sometimes I go and take a bath. You know, I do whatever I got to do. So it's really hard to live stream, especially because it's a mobile game. In any case, if you feel so inclined to donate, I would greatly appreciate it. If I could hit all of these goals, it would just be wonderful. It's been a rocky and tough year last year, but this year I finally feel like I'm kind of pulling out of stuff. And this would be a great symbolic way to sort of start my 48th year off and running, just fired up. In any case, this is Sunday. I'm going to have to put those pictures in, so that's going to take a little bit. I'm going to upload the video. I'm going to get some sleep. And then tomorrow is back and shoulders and abs in the morning. And no doubt we will have full disclosure. A very fascinating full disclosure. Lots of big shows happened. Lots of big shows didn't happen. Lots of news items have come out. Lots of drama has unfolded. I will likely put out a Patreon video tomorrow as well. In any case, thank you for your support in advance. Seriously think about donating. It feels good to do it. And just know that I am doing my level best to not let you down. Thank you. Happy birthday to me. See you tomorrow, motherfuckers.